Here we have an AJS model 22. It's a 250cc, late pre-war. It's 1938, 1939, 250 single, and it's been a frequent visitor to Performance Classics and spent quite a lot of time here a few years ago when we had some interesting work to do on it at the request of the owner. In total, I think we've had 2 engines for it, 3 cylinder heads, 2 gearboxes, about 3 speedometers, about 4 carburettors, and there's probably more things that I can't think of just now, all in an effort to make it go faster for the owner. When we first had it here, I think it did about 50 or 55 miles an hour flat out, and when we finished with it, it was doing about 73, which still wasn't quite enough, but well, for the owner, but I thought it went very well. And in its latest form, we did away with the AJS cylinder head, and I put an Ariel 250 pre-war cylinder head on it. It fitted remarkably easily actually, and it gives it a little bit of a squish area over the piston, which the AJS head didn't. Also got some camshafts in there. Now we've tried countless different profiles of cams, and I finished up with a profile as used in some Royal Enfields, the Redditch S profile. I actually had 18 sets of S cams made for Royal Enfield Electra X's, but I had 1 set of cams made for this machine, and they work very well in this as well, and that's what's in this now. We've tried monoblock carburettors. There was even a whopping great TT carburettor, but that was too big to fit in there. There was a McCuney, which I didn't use, and then we went to these pre-monoblocks, although I would have preferred to have stuck with the monoblock myself. This has been on a dyno in the past, and it's clocked up about 13 brake horsepower at the back wheel. It's had countless thrashings and road tests and adjustments and seize-ups and all sorts of things, poor bike. And it was taken away from here probably about 18 months or 2 years ago to be dismantled and cosmetically restored, because it was looking good but well used, and the owner wanted it to look like this. So it was taken away, and that was all done to it. And now it's been brought back here because it got put on the dyno again after being reassembled, and bits started falling off it, and the back wheel was wobbling after being rebuilt, so I've taken care of that as well. So it's almost a case of welcome home really, and we've got to set it up, check it over, run it in, make sure everything's good, and I don't really know whether he'll want us to try and make it go faster again or what, but we've had to already have a look at the carburation because that had been messed with, and we'll check out things like the ignition timing and just generally go round it, valve clearances and so on, and run it and assess it and see where that takes us. But if it performs like it used to, I think it's probably best to leave it alone, because it was going very, very well. Probably the only one of its kind in the world with that cylinder head on. And it would only take an afternoon's work to put the original head back on it too, so no harm done, nothing irreversible, but just something a little bit different.